people drinking their own urine? I'm Robin Openshaw, the Green Smoothie Girl online, and not long ago I posted on Facebook that you wouldn't see me bragging about drinking my own urine, but I invited Green Smoothie Girl followers to convince me otherwise, and I promised that I would research with an open heart and mind. After spending many hours now researching, including reading two books I was pointed to, I've come to the conclusion that we may have been misled in being taught that the kidneys are excreting a waste product. What if your miraculous body is creating a highly valuable substance full of enzymes, minerals, hormones, and substances to help us make hormones, antibodies to pathogens, stem cells, and many other beneficial and healing compounds? The more I read, the more fascinated I was to learn that many compounds in urine are actually collected even by porta potty companies and sold to the pharmaceutical industry and to the cosmetic industry. I read a book with hundreds of case studies where people had been written off by Western medicine and were told they had days or weeks to live, but actually overcame terrible health challenges by fasting and drinking nothing but their own urine. Murine, the eye drops, are made from human urine. Prempro is a hormone drug made from animal urine. Many shampoos and high-end soaps use compounds from human urine. Apparently, Chinese companies sell $500 million a year worth of urine collected from portable toilets to American pharmaceutical and cosmetic companies. The Enzymes Company of America specializes in enzyme products derived from human urine. The first thing I was willing to try is to rub it into my own skin and see if nothing but urine kept my skin hydrated. Even though the first weeks I was using it involved a week and a half traveling into the desert climate where I raised my children, my skin was hydrated and not dry at all, and I didn't use anything else. I also tried it as a shampoo with nothing else, no commercial shampoo and no conditioner. At first it seemed great, and I'd wake up the next morning and my hair smelled surprisingly fresh and looked good, and my brush slid right through my hair after I washed it. After 2 weeks, I confess that my hair felt dirtier at the scalp, and so my 2 week experiment did come to an end. I'd use it again though if I didn't have shampoo. But then we come to the drinking it thing. I had so many of you DMing me that you have researched this ahead of me and used this as part of your health protocol, even if you don't want to subject yourself to the inevitable ridicule that would result by talking about it publicly. That one day, after my husband had become very sick and we were 2,700 miles from home where all our tools to be healthy are far from us, and because I'd read that when exposed to a pathogen, your urine immediately contains antibodies to that pathogen, I asked myself, what exactly is my problem here? I blend edible weeds from my yard into green smoothies for decades now. I drink wheatgrass juice, even though I actually gag and think it's absolutely horrible tasting. But when I scolded myself and was motivated to continue seeing several friends and family every day while we were here in Utah, rather than get whatever John had, I gave it a 10-ounce try. And as I did, I realized that what it's like is the Epsom salts drink that our detoxers consume right before their liver flush. It's not worse than that. In fact, it's better. It's really just a mental barrier that comes from decades of the apparently false belief that our body is ridding itself of waste that we should flush. What if God actually gave us a useful compound where for no cost we can improve skin ailments and heal wounds, or get over eye infections, moisturize our skin, or feel better overall? By the way, I never got the thing that John had, where he was in bed coughing all night, taking ibuprofen, and generally miserable for several days. Joan Collins and Madonna discovered this practice decades ago that has been used by people all over the world for thousands of years, and of course they were laughed at and mocked when they brought it up. Retired NFL player Chad Johnson recently disclosed that soaking his sports injuries in urine was his secret weapon to getting over them in a couple days and being back out on the field. And if he didn't have enough of his own, he'd get some from teammates. My husband offered to donate some, as I've had 2 ankle sprains the last couple months, but I haven't taken him up on that as of yet. Many physicians and researchers have written books about it, and I confess I found their research and case studies compelling. We are so quick to take whatever pill a company is selling, completely unaware that most of our supplements are actually made by pharmaceutical companies and involve petrochemical solvents and gases and processing you wouldn't be enthusiastic about if you knew about them, and substrates that you wouldn't even choose to eat from a grocery store. And yet we act like the most disgusting thing in the world might be something that our body produces for our own use. After all, leaves fall off the trees and become the food of the trees as they compost, so the idea really shouldn't be foreign. So I want to share my experience with you, which includes that I feel extra fantastic 30 minutes after I take a large swig. because I know many of you are struggling with something in your own health that so far no one has been able to help you solve. What if your body is creating hormones in your urine that might help? As I know many of you have endocrine disorders that cause you no end of misery. I have nothing to sell you here. Your body makes this product on its own, but I wanted to briefly share the Cliff's Notes of my experience and research. Maybe someone is listening to this who can benefit from it. And for those who want to mock me, that's okay too. Thanks for following Green Smoothie Girl, and I'll see you next time.